Okay, we're back with the Z6400. In my last video, I thought I had the leak fixed. Wishful thinking. So this is not going to be like some of them other videos that you see on YouTube. There's not going to be a lot of fluff. So I'm having to pull this transmission so I can clean it up and see if I can figure out where the leak is. So we got the wheel off. Now, if you got a Z6400, this is what you're going to be looking at to pull the transmission. Alright. See if I can get this right. So, I've got my sockets on those bolts. Let me get them off. So, we got a bolt here. A bolt here. This is going to relieve the brake spring. This bolt, then I've already taken the spring off. That goes to the clutch. Okay, and it just hooks right up in the top. So I already pulled that out. I already got my belt off, well, loosened off. I'm going to try to take you under this thing to show you what you got to do to get that belt off. It's relatively easy. Alright, we're going to go up under here. Try to get this about where I need it so you can see. But I don't know how this is going to turn out, but this lever right here moves. Okay, you can push it in, and actually it's easier if you grab, you can see where my hand is, grab here and push in. Okay, and while you're holding this in with one hand, you can relieve the belt off of the drive pulley on the engine, which will loosen it up enough. So right here, and then once you pull that off, you got plenty enough to get the, I don't think we can see it from here, to get the belt off of the flywheel. Okay, when you get above 60, it's a little rougher to crawl around on the ground. Alright, so we had those. Bolt, clutch spring. And then we're going to have this bolt, and there's a bolt right here going up to the chassis. So there's 1, 2, 3. This is releasing everything that's attached to the transmission. And then we got this, which is your release for the wheels when you want to roll it manually. So you got to pull a little cotter pin out of there. Then the one I think is going to be tough is this brace bar. You can see it right here. Well, this side that I'm working on doesn't have a nut or a bolt. It's just a rod going through there. So I'm going to have to Where's it at? Take it off right here. And then pull that internal rod out. And this should pull back, well, drop. I'll get it past this point and then I'll drop it. And then I think that's about it. So we're gonna start with this rod and then do the bolts. We'll see how this goes. I'll be back to let you know. I haven't got all the bolts out yet, but I wanted to show you something I'm running into here. So that brace bar between the two transmissions, I have to get down here. Okay. So I had to take the other wheel off just to get the impact gun in there. So I'm on the bolt on this side, and the way it's set up, you get this bolt out, and then the rod in the middle is going to push out that way. It's going to go, once you get that nut off of there, the rod will push all the way out that way. On the side that I'm working on, and what you got is a 7/16 there. So I'll be able to get that nut off and push that rod all the way out on this side. Some of the videos I ran across suggest that it's a two-man job. Maybe so on the Mowers that I was looking at, but for this Z6400, looks like I'm going to be able to do it by myself. Alright, we're going to get that rod out and get the other bolts out, and we'll be back. Okay, we got that puppy out. I recommend putting a floor jack under it when you undo that last bolt. Now, the last bolt I undid was this one here, which made it pretty easy because it kind of rocks down a little bit. You get your jack underneath there and pump it up a little bit, and it evens it out where you can get this bolt out. So first one, this one, then these two, and then the last one. And that's after you get that rod out. So it was like I thought. You got your spacer with the nut on this end, and this piece won't go past the won't go past the brace on the other transmission. So we're looking pretty ugly. Lots of leaking oil, lots of buildup. I'm going to get the power washer after I look at it a little bit and see if I can determine where that leak's coming from. I don't have warm fuzzies though, because it's so high up that I'm thinking maybe it's a seal in here on this fan. I don't know. We'll figure it out though. I'll be back. All in all, it's not too difficult to get out. And you got like 4 linkages you got to undo. I had to take both wheels off, but that's just because I wanted to use my power gun to get that bolt undone, and I couldn't fit it in there. You could probably use a ratchet or a wrench and do the same thing. I'm all about brain over brawn though. So it's actually easier than I thought it was going to be. So we'll be back. Okay, we got her out and cleaned up now. Amazing what 3200 psi will do. Alright, so now get to put her up on the bench, get my drill out, get my socket, fill her back up with oil. So, overflow, fill cap. This is where in my last video I was trying to put the oil, it wouldn't all go in. Then I saw this one, and that filled it up. So my topper off, get my drill, put a socket on, start turning her like she's running, and keep an eye on it and see if I can see where the leak is. We'll see. I'll be back. I had to take the fan blade off to get up to the top of this thing, because that's where I think it's leaking from, because I had a lot of oil and caked on grease up top. So I think I lucked out and got what I was looking for. I was hoping it wouldn't be a seal. But if you can see, I don't know if this is going to show it too good, but there appears to be a crack right in the top of that thing. So that's what I was hoping for. I'm betting that's where it's coming from. So I get me some JB Weld, throw it on there, see what happens. Okay, turns out that wasn't a crack after I wire brushed it. It wasn't what I thought it was. But enough time elapsed where I saw oil piling up here. So it was coming out of the fan wheel. And what I could have spent hours on the internet trying to find the right replacement gasket, rubber seal, but instead what I did was I took this retainer ring out, pulled the seal out, and I put another O-ring down the same size so when the seal goes back on, it went around the O-ring. And then I took a band of electrician's tape and put around the outside of the O-ring, which fit really snug all the way around, and used a socket to get her back down in there with the hammer. Worked pretty good. We'll see. Hopefully that'll fix my leak, because that's most likely where it was. I know it's where it was coming from, because I saw it pooling up there on top, even with it sitting here like this. So, time to get her back in, reverse order from what we took it out, and see what happens. Okay, we got her all back together. It seems to be working really well. We'll find out if it leaks. I took it for a little spin and it's working pretty good. Got that underneath the transmission that was leaking, so I'll be able to tell in the morning. All in all, not too bad. Not as bad as I was expecting, since I had never done it before. Fairly easy, really. A little time consuming. Spent about 5 hours altogether. And the leak turned out to be not what I thought it was, so we got that resolved, I hope. And the tunes, yep, best sound there is, Bose. That's all the bigger it is, next to the 52-ounce Bubba Cake. Alright guys, I hope you found this video helpful if you're trying to tackle a similar job. Good luck with your project.